was about to be 14. I think it was like right before my 14th birthday. So let's rewind back into time a little bit. And there was this website, or there is this website, I'm pretty sure it still exists. I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of it, but it was called Fanbop. Fanbop. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it still exists. But it was basically, it was a fan site, so like different like movie and television characters had their own like fan pages, shows had their own fan pages, couples that you liked from TV shows had their own fan pages, and then you could like join them and you could post like videos from like fan videos from YouTube and pictures and like all kinds of like art and stuff, like people that would post on like LiveJournal and DeviantArt, like all that stuff would get shared there, and then you could comment and you could like. I just thought it was the bee's knees. And so back in the day, I was a huge fan of a lot of TV shows, but my current like main obsession during this time was One Tree Hill. And so I had this group of friends on there that we all talked, because they had forums too. You could create forums, and we all had a forum where we talked constantly. Like, I mean, day and night. There was this big group of us that were always on there, and like we lived in different time zones and whatnot, but we made it work. And I'm still friends with some of those people today, like on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and stuff. Like, we still follow and talk sometimes. So yeah, I don't remember when, like how long I had been on the website at the point that this character was introduced, that he came onto the scene. I don't remember, but we all had like an established friend group at the time. And I think at the time we were all girls. And then this guy showed up and joined the conversation. We had people do that, you know, sometimes they would see that there was this steady forum that was always blowing up, and people would join, but they never yeah, and like I said, this is what I was saying when I meant I didn't really have a vested interest if he was lying or not. It honestly didn't even occur to me that he would lie about who he was, because I wasn't, and the rest of them weren't, to the best of my knowledge. So, like I said, yeah, we all talked, and we talked separately for a long time. And he kind of always made his interest more known than me. Like, I was, like, I was just kind of like, I blew off everything, and I was insecure and stuff, so I was just like, oh, there's no way he really likes me, like, whatever. And, as time went on, we took our communication off of Public. He had, we chatted on, like, AIM and Yahoo Messenger and stuff. I think maybe Yahoo more, for a long time. I would have given him my phone number, but I don't know if maybe he didn't want me to have his. I'm not sure. We did eventually text later, but we instant messaged and constantly, and I would stay up half the night talking. Yeah, we would like watch movies at the same time and talk about them, all kinds of dumb shit. But we were never a couple, we were just friends. And then, like I said, that carried on for a couple of years. I mean, we talked every day, like constant, like all the time. And like I said, oh yes, and then this is one of the first red flags that I ignored, was that at one point all of us on the forum decided that we wanted to get microphones and like go into a voice chat so we could all talk to each other, because we were all from different places and everyone wanted to hear each other's accents. Like, we had a British girl, one from the Philippines, one from Australia, I'm from the South of America, we had a girl from the North in America. So we were all like sending each other voice messages and voice chatting, and he wouldn't do it. He was just like, no, and I don't have a microphone, my microphone's broken. But he wanted to hear me, he wanted me to send him a voice message, and I just blew it off. I was just like, okay, whatever, fine, that's fine, like, whatever. I ignored it. I just was like, okay, I guess he doesn't have a mic. And like I said, it didn't really occur to me that he would lie. So that happened, and then what else? There was something else. Oh yeah, at one point we had gotten into a fight, like a disagreement, because one thing about me is, like, I get really exhausted of people, like, when I have constant interaction with them, and like, I just get really, like, wore out, and I need my space. And he wasn't really like that. Like, he was fine to talk all day, every day. And so we had gotten into this big fight about me ignoring him, and so, like, we weren't speaking for a while. And at that time, he supposedly had a girlfriend. Like, he had gotten a girlfriend, and she joined the site and like would talk to people, and even when he wouldn't, and like, looking back now, I'm like, bro, like, if you had just monitored his speech pattern at all, you would have known that it was him. Like, people type in a certain way and use certain words and phrases over and over again. Like, it would have been obvious. But yeah, it wasn't at the time. I was just like, oh. At the time, I was like, oh, like, how dare he get a girlfriend, basically. So dumb. Anyways, so I feel like this has gone off on a tangent. Anyways, so yeah, we had taken our communication off of the website, and my this, watch Catfish or just have a brain, you probably already know what's coming. But yes, so he was like, okay, well, I'm not really blank. I'm not gonna give his name out or anything like that. I'm not gonna say, like, I don't think he'll ever say this, but I'm not gonna do that. He's like, so yeah, I'm not blank. Like, that picture is not me. I'm actually a girl. And, yeah, this is my name. And they sent me their Facebook. And I was just like, bruh. Oh my god, I was so mad and upset. Like, teenage, angsty, crying to my cousin. I'm like, why would they do this? Oh yeah, because I failed to mention, like, we were not together, but he constantly was like, oh, I love you, but, like, love bombing and stuff like that. So, like, I was just like, why would they lie? Why love? And, oh gosh, it was just hysterical. But, come to find out, he, and again, I'm not gonna give names or any locations or anything, and I don't even, I'm like, kind of hesitant to even add this part, but he eventually told me that he was trans, and that's why he had picked a, like, male persona, and a name, and, like, that his family wasn't supportive, and so he hadn't been able to actually, like, start any kind of transition, but that he really did feel a male, and that's what he preferred, and he just wanted a context, like a situation where people wouldn't question him or invalidate his experiences, and that he really did care about me, and he was sorry for lying, and I mean, I was obviously so fucking angry, but I calmed down eventually. My cousin and I have family members that are gay, and I'm really supportive of, I try to be the best ally that I can be, and so I, like, really calmed myself back down, because I'm a bit of a hothead, and talked to him about it, and yeah, we maintained our friendship, and afterwards we even were, like, quote unquote dating. Like, we weren't dating, we never met in person, but the 16-year-old's version of dating someone they're never gonna meet, that's what happened after. And after, at that point, like, we video chatted and talked on the phone and exchanged phone numbers, and yeah, like, sent each other stuff in the mail and stupid shit like that. Drink. So yeah, that, I think I was 16, so, like, it was a long friendship. Yeah, so we ended up dating for less than a year, because it was the same thing that had happened before. He just kind of monopolized my time, and I became, like, distant and just, like, resentful of the situation. I don't know. I was the asshole in the situation. I think being in a relationship is just, especially a long distance one that relies so much on communication, like, constant communication, is, like, it's really difficult for me. Yeah, so I eventually ended the relationship, and we had a period of not speaking after that, because it wasn't mutual. And then we reconnected later, and he had a girlfriend, and we tried being friends, like, just just like all consuming. It was like either we talked all day, every day, or we just didn't talk at all. And that's how our friendship fell back into, like, we just texted all day long, and like we video chatted a couple times and stuff. And he never said anything that was inappropriate, like, or was like super flirty or anything. But I just felt like if I was someone's girlfriend and they were constantly texting with their ex, regardless of the context of the conversation, I would not like that. So we just ended up stopping talking again, and we didn't talk for a long time, but we still followed each other on Tumblr. And a while back I saw on Tumblr, and so this ended when I was 16, and I'm 26 now, so for several years we really didn't communicate at all, I don't think. But then several years ago I saw on Tumblr that he had started actually transitioning, like hormonally and surgically and stuff. And so I sent him a message. I was like, oh my god, I'm so happy for you, like, I'm sure that that's amazing, like, that's awesome, it's amazing for you, I'm glad your family's better about it, blah blah blah. And yeah, so he was cool in response. Like, we didn't pick up a friendship, but he responded nicely. And maybe a year or so ago, he randomly hit me up on Tumblr, and because I still have my Tumblr, even though I'm like never on there, he hit me up on there and was like, hey, what's your Snap? And I was like, what the fuck? But I sent it to him, and he added me. I was like, why? And he was like, oh, I just like want to, keep up with your life without like being actively a part of it, I guess, because I don't post a ton on there, but I mean, I do sometimes. So yeah, that is where we are at now. We like recently he was in Tennessee with his girlfriend and his brother. Oh, my hand's falling. And I messaged him and was like, oh my god, I can't believe you're in Nashville, have fun, blah blah blah. But we didn't meet up or anything. Like, we've never met. I mean, like I said, video chatted, talked on the phone plenty, but yeah, it's weird. I don't know, it's weird because he was such a big part of my teenage years for so long. But like I said, we just kind of have a toxicity to our interactions that I don't think was really good for either one of us. So yeah, like I said, that's how I got catfished, guys. I don't feel too badly about it because I was so young and like the internet was still burgeoning at that point. I don't even think the concept that people just blatantly lied on the internet was super popular